Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I apologize. I was a little late. Had to get everything situated for Baby Bunny and kind of getting all these links together of just the different things that are happening. Welcome, everybody. Dave the Sinner. Hey, Sinner, welcome back to the membership. Shout out to you. Thank you for rejoining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You got notified? So you got notified. I got a notification, first one in a while. Thank goodness. I'm telling you, the people are suppressing the channel. I mean, I'm not surprised, y'all. I'm not, especially with this content that we're doing. Let me let the people know that we're live. We are live now. And let me get this intro going because that'll give me some time to kind of let the people know that we're live and those notifications to go out. Let's go. Hold up. Wait a minute. Bruh. Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposing the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring hopes. Exploring. Researching. Debunking. Investigating. Being nosy. Super nosy. Being messy. Being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me. The chick with ADHD. Unmedicated. But quite educated. Hit that like. Hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat. Hit chat. Hit that like. Hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop some drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Drop some rabbits. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like. Hit that like. Let's go. Let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You said GHISLAINE said, I'm Gypsy Rose in the situation. Not Gypsy Rose in the situation. Look. Not GHISLAINE being the new Gypsy Rose of this whole thing. Oh my God, Night Charm. That took me out. That's kind of funny. All right, guys. I don't think I'll be live for too long. I mean, clearly notification. I don't know if people got notifications or what. And it's a little bit later now. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We already knew the lady was going to walk. Well, I know that took me out right there. Like, that's okay then. Guess we'll find out. But let me tell you what I did find. So let me tell you guys what's going on. There are various weird reports. Somebody gave me a heads up and said, hey, did you hear that GHISLAINE is like able to leave the jail now? Did you hear that she has been approved for a like work release program? I haven't seen anything that I would say, oh my God, this is like really, really a good source, right? To go from. And I'll give you guys an example. Like, here are the headlines, and these are like, these are kind of I would say maybe bot tabloids, where it's like you can put an article in there, or people can write all kinds of articles. Like this one is raw story, sickening. GHISLAINE Maxwell work release from prison sparks outrage. This was 7 hours ago. I don't think that there's any truth to this, but apparently this is what's being reported as of today. I'm pretty sure that this would be very much like breaking news. Again, social media firestorm erupts Tuesday after news spread that Jeffrey Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell, serving 20-year prison sentence, says sentence for ST, was granted clearance to leave her locked up on work release. I don't know if this is the case, and they're literally quoting people from Twitter. So take that for what it's worth. Now, let me tell you what I did find, what I found to be very interesting. There's a Substack, and I want to talk about it. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Exclusive. I have Ghislaine Maxwell security score, custody level, transfer code, and S offender waiver. This is somebody who wrote an article. I want to say a Substack. I'm not familiar with this person. You guys might know her. Her name is Allison Gill. Put a one in the chat if you guys know who Allison Gill is. Apparently, she's got her own Substack. She's a writer, but she wrote this, and I said, "Oh, well, okay. I guess we could talk about this. This person has some insight potentially." Just so people are aware, she writes, today we learned from Adam Casfield at All Rise News that Senator Whitehouse has penned a letter to the director of Federal Bureau of Prisons, William Marshall, demanding answers surrounding the resignation and transfer of convicted trafficker Ghislaine to a minimum security facility. We kind of knew this, okay? Miss Maxwell was transferred without explanation and in possible violation of the standard of Bureau policy. Against the backdrop of the political scandal arising from President Trump's relationship with Epstein, Miss Maxwell abrupt transfer raises questions about whether she had been given special treatment in exchange for political favors. Okay. I have Ghislaine Maxwell's security score, custody level, transfer code, public safety factor, and S offender waiver. They're dropping some screenshots of comments, okay? Take that for what it's worth, but they are dropping this in their screenshots. As part of his inquiry, Senator Whitehouse is demanding documents from the BOP involving number one, the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, any member of the Office of the Deputy Attorney General, or any other Department of Justice official not employed by the Bureau of Prisons. Okay. Requests and the deposition of such requests for the redesignation and transfer of Miss Maxwell. Who made the decision that this would be the place for her? That would be the question. It further goes. Requests of the deposition of such requests for waiver of any public safety factors associated with Miss Maxwell designation and resignation. Any decision to waive as applied to Ms. Maxwell's the standard procedures for submissions of an inmate transfer request as detailed in Chapter 7 of the Bureau's program statement, 5100.08, inmate security designation and custody classification. Any transfer code associated with Ms. Maxwell's resignation and transfer, Ms. Maxwell's security point score, custody level, and any request for application of and reason for management variables associated with Ms. Maxwell's placement of June 1st, 2025. Okay. Ms. Maxwell's security point score, custody level, and any request for applications of and any reasons for management variables associated with Ms. Maxwell's placement as of August 1st. This is what they're requesting. According to a report I have reviewed provided by a source who wishes to remain anonymous, I can reveal some of the information requests in numbers 5 through 7. 5 through 7 of the Senator Whitehouse letter. So transfer codes would be 5. Maxwell security point would be 6. And Maxwell security point score would be 7. Okay. According to a source, Maxwell's transfer code is 308, lesser security transfer. This transfer code is normally reserved for inmates whose point total has come down, but S offenders, are never transferred to minimum security facilities. Why? She is an SO, right? Why would she have been transferred to a minimum security facility? Let's say that her life was really at risk for quote unquote snitching. Why not just transfer her to another facility? That's the question, right? Why not transfer her to another facility where she could be, treated the same way that, those that are facing that kind of charge can be treated? Why would they transfer her here? That is the question that I have. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know, okay? It further goes, yeah, like, and I have to think about it, Susan. Like, honestly, it's like they could have transferred her to all kinds of facilities, but they transfer her to this one. Why? Why K Fed or Club Fed? Not K Fed. Why am I thinking of Kevin Federline? Why Club Fed? It doesn't make sense. I will say that. At all, at all, at all, at all. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we're gonna again review this more in depth, and stuff like that. But this is somebody who's reporting that they have a source, and they broke this down a little bit. But we don't have anything to say that she has been on a work release program. But let's be very honest. If she is in a lower facility, what are they expecting the lady to do? Be locked up all day in a facility when other inmates are going to work? It's very logical that she's going to be offered the same amenities that the other inmates are offered. Otherwise, she could very well, file whatever she needs to file. You think this is my theory? She met with the DOJ. She demanded the same sweetheart deal, JE, and got with work release for remainder of his term, then pardon when he is leaving office. No, I get this. So they could have transferred her anywhere else, but they transfer her to Texas at a lower level. Why this facility? Was this the only facility with open beds? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. You said it has to do with how close she is to somewhere, but I don't remember where that somewhere was. Does she have family in Texas? Is that what it is? Could very well be the case. But if she's in the facility, she's not going to be denied the amenities of that facility. She might have been denied the dog situation. You said she'll be home by Labor Day. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's like, what, 2 Mondays? And like 2 more Mondays? 2 weeks. She gonna be leaving on Labor Day. This doesn't make sense whatsoever, but let's keep reading, okay? According to the source, Maxwell's transfer code is 308, lesser security transfer. This transfer code is normally reserved for inmates whose point total has come down, but SOs are never transferred to a minimum security facility. Her security point score is 27. This total is comprised of a 20-point custody score and a 7-point base score. Here is her 20-point custody score. Okay, so they're giving us screenshots. Okay. Then she has set a 7-point base score, which is the highest severity because of her S offender status. Okay. So her base score is severe because of her S offender status. It's very high up there. All right. Despite her score of 27 resulting in a minimum security level, BOP, okay, policy does not allow people with S offender or PSF, public safety factors, to serve their sentence in minimum security facilities. Someone has to waive the PSF to make that move. Somebody gave a green light for her to be in this facility. Okay, they did. They signed it off. All right. They could have moved it to another same level facility as Tallahassee, right? I mean, there's all kinds of facilities. They're everywhere. They could have moved her everywhere. But they moved her to the one and they downgraded her level. Ain't that weird? Further goes. As you can see here, her management variable, MGTV, says PSF wave, and her PSF public safety factor is sex off. Okay. Offender. This indicates that she is a threat to the public because of her S offender status. And her management variable of the PSF waive indicates her S offender status has been waived in order to facilitate her move to a minimum security facility. Okay. Here is her level in custody summary. Look at this. Base is 7, so it's high because of her crime. 20 minus 8, 0, low, minimum. What stands out here is custody is level out. Look at this. Custody level out. Y'all see that? Which allows her to leave the minimum security campus for work assignments, which, like Jeffrey Epstein, was allowed to leave prison as part of the sweetheart deal he got from Alex Acosta. That was penned by Alan Dershowitz. I do not have any confirmation that she has worked outside of the facility. S offenders are not allowed to take assignments outside of the facility, just as they are not supposed to be moved to a minimum security camp. She's literally at a step down from just being home, from like being on house arrest. That's what it looks like. She's at a low level, community based kind of like what is it? Community based correctionals, if that's what you call it. And she's got a high score as a SO offender. If you are to believe anything that this person is putting out, she's got a high level, right? She's at that step down facility. I mean, even offenders, SO offenders that have therapeutic services don't even get this level of community based corrections. So this is off, and her level custody is out. That's the question, right, Waffle Biscuit? Shout out. Let me know if you guys put a one in the chat if you guys had seen this before. Let me know. And like I said, we are being suppressed right now. That's why we don't have a whole, lot of people in here and everything. I have a feeling that again, we have to be very careful when we report this. Allegedly, in my opinion, but this is what the rumors are, and I'm trying to find out more viable sources. But this is the only one, and this is a Substack. So take it for what it's worth, okay? They still have not disclosed what exactly she has provided that is worth this preferential treatment. Right, Belen? Right, Belen? Honestly. I have a lot of questions. Infuriating and a gut punch to survivors. Yeah. They better let Rabs be great. Y'all better hit the like button. What is your like button number? Put it in the chat. Okay, I hope no creator steals that from me. You know how you have your sleep number? Put your like button number in the chat. Okay, we got 80 people here, so put your like button number in the chat, please and thank you. 10 of 50. Okay, thank you. All right, we getting somewhere. We getting somewhere. This is the suppressed content. All right, all right. 48. 7. Oh, thank you guys. Okay. I have a lot of questions about this. I'm not an expert in community corrections, even though I did sit in a committee for a couple of these things. But this is real serious when you have an SO going from high level to low level. And if you look at these, somebody had to have signed off, right? We know this for her to have been down there. But why does it say custody out? And the reality of the situation is this: she has to be allowed to participate in programs. Like, they can't keep the lady not like whatever the lady wants to do. So as long as they give her a time period, right? Kind of give her like a grace period for her to acclimate herself to the rules. Maybe there's like a face level or something like that. Well, once she passes that, there's a graduation level to that, right? She'll be able to leave the facility and whatever amenities they have there. They can't just they don't have her locked up, guys. That's the thing. They don't have her locked up. They don't have that's not it's just not. They don't. So this person, if you are to believe what this person is saying, she has documents that were given to her, and we're able to get a sneak peek out of this. Dee Dee, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. Oh my goodness, Dee Dee, thank you for supporting. Appreciate you. If you guys have been blessed, put some hearts or confettis in the chat. Thank you guys. Lord have mercy. Yeah. Suppress these nuts. That's right, Dee Dee. Tell him suppress these nuts. Well, your magic number, your like button number is 69. Lord have mercy. All right. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's get it together. Thank you, Dee Dee. So what stands out here is the custody level is out. All right, which allows her to leave the minimum security campus for work assignments, much like Jeffrey Epstein was allowed to leave prison. Okay, we know that. Hell, what prison was Jeffrey Epstein in when he was allowed to serve his time at his home? It's crazy. S offenders are not allowed to take assignments outside the facility, just as they're not supposed to be moved to a minimum security camp. I do not have information or communication that the decision or reason behind it, but there has been a demand in a Freedom of Information Act request filed by Democracy Forward. That's that big lawsuit from that law firm. We talked a little bit about it. In a separate lawsuit, I have filed for Epstein material, including the training videos instructing FBI personnel on how to find and flag mentions of Donald Trump in the Epstein files. You can read about that in my post here, and you can read about my lawsuit here. Oh my God, I got to follow this person. If you have additional information on the waiver or transfer, please feel free to reach out to me on Signal. And hers is Signal Mueller, she wrote 23. I will keep you anonymous. And while my content is always free, I hope you consider becoming a paid subscriber to support the independent media. I'm definitely going to look into that. Let's see. Well, I'll flag this on my side. Definitely. So this is her. I don't know too much about her, but when I was looking into the research about, well, what do we have to really show that Ghislaine Maxwell can be released or has been released or has been approved for work release programs? What can, like, do we have anything? We really don't have anything at this point viable. But what we do know is that she is at a step down facility, which would permit her, even though she has a high offending number that we just saw, okay, score wise, she has a high offending number. She probably would be able to engage in walking out of the facility, going to a job, being employed, making sure maybe that children, if she's a registered person, that children aren't in that vicinity. But I feel like they are going to fix the rules for her, right? And so somebody had to have signed off of this. But this is taking community corrections to a whole different level, guys. Because let me tell you, in community corrections, I mean, even the SOs have a whole different committee for that, right? They have to sit, they have to go through a board. There are specific resources. There are specific people and professionals that are that their skill set is in that to figure out where an SO is going to live and how close to a school, what kind of checkup, what kind of therapy they're going to need. This is a whole different level. I mean, they just bypassed the whole situation here. Okay, they did. There's a reason why some societies unalive people who commit, say, crimes, against children. Just saying, Lord have mercy. They, really, I'll check them out. Thank you, thank you. I think she's closer to Epstein in New Mexico. Well, that's interesting, right? Because, I mean, New Mexico is like right there. You said this is so wrong. Probably someone in her family or friends will start a company so she can chill out during the day. I don't know. A lot of this has to be reviewed, but none of this surprises me. And government is super to be cracking down on trafficking for everyone and on a parole for life, right? I don't know who that is. I'll have to check it out. I just looked it up on Google, and the Times is now saying that as well. The New York Times, or which Times? Which Times? Because this is rumors that are happening. I came across this. I said, wait a minute. What do we have viable? Let me refresh my search, okay? This is the only report. This is the only person that I sang. I think you're talking about the Times Now. That's not the New York Times. It's another blogger site. Is it the bloggers that are reporting this? The HuffPost is now reporting this. I mean, again, take it for what it's worth, but there's another source right there, maybe eligible for work release. Now the blogs are talking, okay? So this information is coming out of somewhere. No worries, no worries, love. Shout out to you. Like I said, you got to be careful who the source is, because like one blog will take from another one until the media. Don't be surprised if this becomes tomorrow's news in the major stream media. So now you have these little blogs, some of which you don't know if they're credible, right? You have to take it for, like, be very careful what they're sourcing. If they're only sourcing X, we have a problem. We don't have something credible, right? But here you have a person who has a Substack, who apparently has access or was able to obtain access to some files that basically give us an idea that Ghislaine Maxwell is labeled, a low level to a certain degree, and she would be able to qualify based on policy to qualify to be on work release. She would be able to leave the campus, which I don't know if it's even safe for her, but that would be a scary thing, right? Like, it would. So you kind of have to be careful. Be careful. She's friends with press, PDF file. They'll rewrite the laws for her. I mean, guys, who knew that we would be talking about the fact that she's stepping down? Even the conversations that we're having now, like a lot of the stuff that's happening right now, we kind of like, in the last month, y'all, we've been hit with one after another when it comes to Ghislaine Maxwell. Before, it was Trump wasn't even thinking about pardoning her. When the FBI report was released, or that memorandum, it was very vague. It was like, the people that are charged are charged. Now we're changing the tune to this conversation. Some don't make sense. Like that's a fact. We just, something is not making sense. Something is dirty in the water, and we may very well not know what the hell this is, or what it all means, or how it's all connected, or who are the players behind the scenes. I mean, we do and we don't, right? The American people, the people from the UK, everybody's asking for a level of transparency, because it's not just America. We have international victims as well. We have victims from the UK. We have victims all over the place. Some of this stuff is not even reported, right? So something's not right. But it wouldn't surprise me if the next week we find out that the lady has been approved for work release, that because of her step down to this facility. And that's the thing. It's like what Belen said. You have to kind of wonder what she said that afforded her to step down to this facility versus another facility that would be the same, like the Tallahassee, but not have the same type of safety concerns that were there for Ghislaine Maxwell. Something's off about this. She could have stepped down to any facility, but she stepped down to Club Fed. Right. It makes sure sense of the people who are pulling the strings. That's right. You said, it almost feels like to me that this is a planned out and with what they're doing in regards to her sentence. They're working towards letting her out on some damn conditional agreement or technicality. Yeah, like a soft release, right? Absolutely. So it's a lot. The water is spiked, or something's going on, man. I don't know why people believe anything. I don't believe it. At this point, I don't believe any administration. I don't believe any politician. Somebody said in my comments, how come you're not, why aren't you talking about Clinton? I did talk about Clinton. You're only slandering President Trump. No, I'm talking about all of them. I did talk about Clinton. I don't like any of them. And I'll slander, and even then it's like, am I slandering, or am I asking the questions that a lot of people want to know, that a lot of people are asking? And we're allowed to ask questions about the things that don't make sense, and to even side eye the situation. Yeah, but somebody came in there and said, you're only talking about Trump. No, I'm talking about all of them. But Trump happens to be right dead set in the middle of the situation too. We're not going to ignore that, as well as Clinton. And if he did anything wrong, if they find that he did anything wrong, he needs to also be held accountable, all of them. So I don't understand what are we doing here? Why are we, dancing back and forth about, well, that's my favorite guy and I elected him. No, I don't care. I don't care. I don't like them. I don't care at all. At all. At all. We want them all held accountable. Absolutely. The administration will blame undocumented people for crimes while literally releasing a child S offender into the community. Say that again, Yanni. Say that again. Like I did the craziest thing. Um. Okay. Thank you, Storm. I just saw that. None of us care about. Yeah, none of us care about Clinton. All I care about is the blatant corruption being played out in our faces. That's right. Rabbit, thank you. I can't stand how people are so biased and emotional over these politicians. It's just like celebrity Blair. Like, it's weird because I think it's even worse than like people that are emotionally invested in celebrities. It's a little bit weird too because what's the word? It's one thing like a celebrity people can understand, but a politician who, people will invest time in sharing their material, doing the research, whatever it may be, supporting their politicians. I mean, people really do get emo about the politicians. They probably get more emo about the politicians than they do about the celebrities. I feel like I get more crap from people, at least like more pushback, or at least like if I say something wrong about a politician, people get mad at me. It's just my opinion. And at the end of the day, none of these people care about us. They only want our opinion every 4 years, and that's it. After that, they do not give a shit about us. You let me know when your politician called you. And if he did, that's amazing. Because, I mean, it's hard to find a really great politician. I'm just being honest. But all these politicians that were swamping, like all the crap that I got in the mail, and I literally try to avoid it. I don't watch TV around that time. I'm very careful. I try not to doom scroll because that's when you get all that political propaganda and stuff like that. And I'm like, none of this shit is good for you. Okay. I don't want I no, don't gaslight me, don't give me a sob story, don't do that. And then once you've elected, once it's done datas, then they're out. They don't care. They don't care. And it's not just one side, guys. They're literally they're one and the same. These politicians on both sides are one and the same. I don't like them. I don't. I don't. Thank you. Absolutely. You could say that again, Belen. I don't put that much energy into people who aren't my family or friends. There you go. That's a beautiful way to put it, right? You're not my child. You happen to have that position. It is what it is. It's crazy. It's crazy. And who said anything about protecting Clinton or anyone on that list? The only people that keep mentioning that. Yeah, it's like really weird because it's like we keep saying, and y'all, Pika, a lot of you like supporters that have been here, whether it's I have 100 people or 300 or 1,000 people in the chat, you guys know where kind of my heart stands when it comes to this topic. Like you guys know that, I can look at both sides of an argument and maybe think of things maybe outside of the scope and then bring it back and everything. But I do not care if they did wrong and they harmed children. I don't care if it's a Clinton or if it's a Pope and I was raised Catholic, or if it's a Trump, whatever, or an Obama, I don't care. These people need to be held accountable because there's no way that they can be doing that. Crimes against children is the worst thing that anybody can do. Okay. And that's where we stand. But what it looks like to me, as currently as we see it, we're more invested in protecting the Pedialites that are on this list than we are actually calling them out. And that's not the same energy that this administration had when they were campaigning. Please note that they have changed the narrative. I do not give an F if it's a nun, a pope, or the president or a prime minister. They all need to be held accountable. We need to keep the same energy for all of these people. Okay. There you go. So the next time that somebody writes in my comments, well, you don't talk about Clinton. Yes, I do. You just don't watch the content. That's the problem. And you just want me to say something that works for your fifis. And I don't do that. I don't. Yeah, change their period. Real quick. Didn't they do that? Didn't they do that? It's crazy. Thank you. All the truth needs to come out because this world is wide and great big cover up for huge Pedialites and rings. If you ask me, I agree. I agree. All of them, biscuit. All of them. All of them. All of them. Bring them out. Bring them out. This is what's happening. I don't get this part. I don't get, man. I swear, the White House has become the what is it? Pip my crib version. I don't know what to say. You know what? But whatever the White, I don't give a shit about the White House. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, I don't care. What I really care about is these decisions that people are making that are affecting people's lives and children, and everything. I don't know if I told you guys this morning. Um, it's the first day of school, right? And I was talking to a lady. I think I did tell you guys a little bit about that. There was a lady, and she was telling me, she's like, I got a real big fear about taking my kid to school. It was really weird because it was a sentiment that we all shared. Like, we're really scared about taking our kids to school nowadays. The GUN violence is one thing, right? You got all kinds of ish going on in these schools that it's like, wait a minute, maybe it is time for us to do the homeschooling. And I did homeschooling when it was the Kobeana time, and I didn't like it because I'm just not really good at that curriculum. Oh my God, there's balloons. But it's a scary time. And I found myself, like, when I was driving, I found myself trying to process that a little. Like, I literally parked the car and just closed my eyes, and I was like I was feeling uneasy about a lot of things after that conversation. I said, there's something wrong about 2025, and I don't know what it is, right? That we can wake up and just don't feel the ease that I felt when I was my child's age. I didn't think about the shit that they think about nowadays. It's a different time. It's a really scary time. So the most I can do, right, is hug my child and pray with my child, or before they go to school. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I do to hold that moment, because you just don't know. You don't know. That's the reality of it. Anything could happen. That's the scary part. That's why I'm not too worried about whether the White House has gold trimming. Who fucking cares about the White House having gold trimming? I don't care. I don't care that it's full. That house could be full of gold and purple and pink. I do not care. It's not a place that I'm going to step into. So let's be very real. I care about the policies that they're making that are affecting the homeless people outside. I care about the fact that people that are protesting are being attacked. I care about the fact that there is, the civil liberties being violated every day in various areas. That's what I care about. But I care less about the trimming of a White House that God knows what has happened there, the history of that house, and it is what it is. Okay? That's my thought on that. But anyways, guys, I'm going to touch on this tomorrow morning, but there's another thing I want to touch on pertaining to the Diddy case that we're going to talk about. We did a lot of videos today, so we're not getting a lot of notifications, so I got to save those for tomorrow. But y'all are amazing. Hey, thank you, Didi, and thank you, Sinner, for becoming a member. Shout out to you and everybody else. You guys are amazing. Right, Belen? Right, Belen? Say that out loud. Thank you guys for allowing me to say my piece, and we don't have to agree. Say your piece in the chat and give me your like number. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Just a quick little live. All right, bye guys. Hit the like button now. Bye guys.